Sharon, Middleton, Whiteline Racing. We've come to the serenity of the famous Whiteline A-trailer to get away from all the noise. You've been a staple of this paddock for a long time, but the impression I get with Whiteline Racing is that as good a race team it is, this is just a big family, isn't it?
Oh, look, you have to have that family connection and you have to have the fun that happens away from the track because you're here for a lot of hours. It's normally really early morning starts. We're here till late in the night, and as it was last night with our first night race, it was well into the dark. So, we pride ourselves on having a lot of fun together. And even with Kingy, unfortunately not able to race this year with his surgery, the team said, look, we're still going to come racing. We're a family, and as much as we'd love to have Kingy here, he's not here, but we're all still going to stick together. So I think that's a sign that we've got getting it right.
Your team's one of the most successful in the history of this category. I'm going to throw some names at you, and I want your first reaction for some of the people that have been in your cars. Andrew Middleton.
Just a legend. He's the full package too. Not only was he brilliant on the track, but he was great with the people factor, with the fans, and just really good with the PR and an understanding that apart from racing on the track, it has to be about engaging with the race fans and with people that love the sport, and he was a master at that and loved talking to people about it. So, yeah, number one.
And Andrew jumped out of the 95 and Adam Bressington jumped in, and it felt like he just slid right into this team as if he'd always been here.
Yeah, well, it would have been hard for Bresso because, there was such a great expectation, obviously, after Andrew. But I've got to say, Bresso and the whole family network with Bresso, Vatina and the two girls, Poppy and Billy, they've just brought another dynamic to the team. And obviously, he's a very, very masterful racer, and we've just absolutely enjoyed having Bresso on the team, and he looks at Bob as being his second dad, I think.
And you mentioned Kingy, and consistently he's been the longest of the drivers at Whiteline Racing, and he's just, even out of the seat this year, been such a big part of this team.
Yeah, well, just to show how much he loves the team, last round at Queensland, he came out, he was there for young Adam G, spending time with him, talking about springs and setup, and they're supporting the team. I mean, and that's just awesome, and I think that's indicative of like you say, the family camaraderie that exists within Whiteline.
And he's left the room now. What about Bob?
Bob just loves his motorsport. Look, 36 years ago when I first met Bob, we were involved in dirt speedway. Then we ended up in circuit racing. Then we ended up with circuit car racing. Then it was the NASCARs, which was really exciting, and night racing as well. We reflected a little bit on that last night. Then the super truck, which he was just awesome, and then we ended up with, the Camaros. And so, we've seen lots of different motorsport, been involved in lots of things, but a lot of the team that we've had throughout the years, we've all just stuck together, so it's been wonderful.
How do you find the time for this? Because between your roles in the trucking industry, your amazing charitable work, and running Whiteline Transport, how do you find time to go car racing?
Well, they say busy people find the time, and I think it's exciting. Sometimes it's exhausting, obviously, but it's such a hell of a ride, and I think, well, I can do it. I've got to continue to do it, and my role here, obviously, I get a lot of joy out of writing our bulletin after every round, and people excited about having their photo in our racing newsletter. So, look, it's all just part of the complete package for me, and I enjoy being able to, on a corporate level, when I'm at meetings, talking about TCM and all the amazing cars and people that are in it, because let's face it, every grandpa, uncle, dad has probably had one of these kind of cars, so common interest.